Thank you so much for staying with Sunrise. In our quest for home, our guests have pooled their skills in writing, counseling, and catering to deliver palatable stories. Now, the Corbins celebrate 50 years of marriage in June this year and have changed homes 14 times. And they join us this morning to tell their story. We welcome David and Lorna Corbin. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you.
Well, happy anniversary to both of you.
Thank you.
Many people will never ever live to celebrate such a long time of marriage, and I wish you both all the very best. Now, when we think of home, what exactly do we envision that to be?
We are at different phases in our lives.
Yeah.
For the young married person, home is basically a center that you can call your own. There's the sense of a place of rest, a place where you can take your shoes off, let your hair down, and as one develops in life, it becomes a place where you raise your children, where a community develops. And so it depends on the season in your life, and your perspective and your needs and your understanding of home would be different. But there are some basic things that will carry all the way through. Mm-hmm. And it has to do basically with a place of rest, a place where you spend your most vulnerable hours of the night, and you want to see a sense of calm. Your job itself might be very demanding, but you want to find a place where you can rest.
Yes. Mrs. Corbin, 14 times. Talk to us about that.
Yes. It's a place where we belong.
Yeah.
But we met as students. And for these students, we graduated on a Friday evening and got married this Saturday.
Oh, Lord, dear. Oh, Lord. I mean, I'm not laughing. What did your parents say at that time?
Well, we thought it was convenient for them because they lived in the States.
Uh-huh.
We were graduating in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. They came down for graduation and they were returning to the States. He was from Trinidad. I am from Jamaica. And I'm like, okay, so we do this now with everybody here. And we're going to Trinidad to be involved in student work. And by Thursday, we were on a plane heading to Trinidad and looking for our first home.
What a fascinating story. I mean, so what was the support like at that time from both parents?
Well, from his parents, they were a little alarmed.
Yes.
He had come to Jamaica for a degree, a 2-year degree. From my parents, well, my mom, she was in shock. Mm-hmm. Here you are, you spent 4 years in this school, and then you're heading off to a small island with a man we don't know.
Mr. Corbin, when you heard that, what happened?
Now, I think the bigger shock for me was when she first shared with her mother that she had been showing interest in a minister of religion. Her mother's response was, "Pass man can kiss." Well, eventually we gave her 3 grandchildren, and so she realized that we had the ability to go beyond the kiss.
And 50 years later, still
50
going
years later.
strong.
Yes, thank God for that.
Praises be. Now you've co-authored Our Quest for Home.
Yes.
What was the idea behind all of this?
As we move from place to place and share the stories of God's faithfulness and goodness to us in providing for us, colleagues and friends kept saying, "You guys should document this." Mm-hmm. But life became so busy that we had no time to document things like that. Mm-hmm. So after our last assignment here in Jamaica, we felt it was time to begin to tell the story. And we thought it would be a good thing to allow the story to be aired just around the time of our 50th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So we gave ourselves a gift to ensure that our story be documented. So it is really a tribute to God's faithfulness to us through our lives. In the 50 years, we got married in Jamaica, as Lorna mentioned, and shortly after that, we moved to Trinidad, where I was on assignment with the Interschool Christian Fellowship, and we served there for 4 years. And then returned to Jamaica, where we had our 3 children. And from Jamaica, we moved to the United States in 1991 to take advantage of graduate studies. And so we both pursued graduate studies, and I went a little bit further and did some doctoral work. And it required moving from place to place. And here are we in the islands, especially at a time like this, experiencing this heat, and then ending up in Minneapolis. This is where I served my first pastorate. And so seeing, there were days when we saw 0 degrees temperature, and we were happy because so often the temperatures were below 0. And so it was like moving from the oven to the freezer in terms of living.
Yes.
And but we have paid our dues. We have lived in the warmth, in warm areas, and we have lived in very cold areas.
And now you're sharing your experiences with the world
Yes.
for them to have an understanding and appreciation and
Yes.
see how much of it they can identify with.
Yes.
The beauty about the stories that I'm hearing is that both of you, we do everything together. Decisions are taken together. One of the things too is that since you did not document all of that, when the suggestion was made that you need to document it and later produce some kind of literature on it, it was not difficult to recall the situations, Mrs. Corbin.
No, it wasn't. Every story was so unique. With going to the United States to study with 3 one teenager and 2 under teenager, in a culture that was so different from our own. It was something that etched on your memory. You couldn't forget the struggles our children had in the school, in the church, and the difficulty in a society where your pigmentation, it defined you.
Yes.
And they were not accustomed to this. And I remember our first encounter is that our 14-year-old, our soon-to-be 14-year-old, she was so mad with her dad that she literally stopped speaking to him. So here are we trying to adjust. And here is this child who, when she sees her father, her face gets stiff. And she would give him this look, like you brought us here and you destroyed our lives.
Did you understand it at that time, Mr. Corbin?
I did not understand it from their perspective. I understood it from my perspective as providing leadership for my family and taking a decision that was not just in my interest in terms of putting a certificate on the wall, but providing opportunities for everyone.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, when we completed our graduate studies, our children, our first girl had been accepted at Syracuse University to pursue architecture. And we had a choice to make. Should we go back to the islands or should we stay here for them?
Yes.
And they then took the driver's seat. And we decided to stay for them. And so in marriage, you go through these seasons where the head of the home provides the leadership, but then you get to the point where you